What's going on, everyone? Happy Saturday to everyone. Hopefully everyone is doing well, staying safe, and healthy. If you had to take a COVID test, hopefully you have tested negative. If you did test positive, I hope you have a full and speedy recovery. It is time now for the Saturday edition of the Pandemic Update for Saturday, August 12th, 2023. Taking a look here, first news story of the day, Vanna White, temporarily replaced on Wheel of Fortune amid contract negotiations. Wait, we're talking about Vanna White's contract negotiations? This is a pandemic update. But don't pay attention to the headline. Come down a little bit further. A little more. Right here. Vanna White had COVID-19 back in July. So yes, there were contract negotiations, but she missed a week of Wheel of Fortune, more so because she tested positive for COVID. And it sounds like the episodes where she missed a week are going to air sometime in October. All right, moving on to this now. Chicago's summer COVID cases slowly ticking up. Wait, what? Slowly ticking up? Yet again, another minimizing headline. Come down here a little further. By the numbers, our laboratory confirmed cases increased 27% from the previous week to 67 cases a day. That's more than slowly ticking up. 27% increase, that's moderately rising, if you ask me. Chicago hospitals report a daily average of 4.3 COVID patients this week, a 43% jump from last week. It's an average of 3 patients on a given day. Now, taking a look at this here, it does say this is all according to the city dashboard. So Chicago still has a dashboard. Perhaps that'll be a tool, I'm going to check it out, that maybe we can start using here in the pandemic update. All right, moving on to this. Someone alluded me to this last night. They gave me excerpt from the article. I went and found the article. McCracken County sees a spike in COVID-19 cases. This is in Kentucky. And keyword, yet again, minimizing. They say McCracken County sees, quote, a spike. Let's read a little bit. This is more than a spike. Paducah, as the new EG.5 variant is going around, COVID-19 cases are increasing nationally. There was a nearly 13% increase in COVID-19 hospitalizations nationally at the end of July. And we're seeing that trend locally as well. McCracken County reported 52 cases this week. Remember that number. When last week the county reported just 8. So 52 versus 8, that's more than a tick upward, or excuse me, that's more than a spike. That's a legitimate rise. Your cases are starting to rise. It says here the increase is happening right as kids are starting to go back to school. And then let's read this. Koster said the 52 cases reported in McCracken County this week were not surprising, because that's in keeping with the trend nationally. As part of the state, we always seem to be a little bit behind. Behind? Your cases went from 8 to 52. No, you're rising just like everyone else. Let's continue. I guess that's what's being reported nationally. I guess maybe it's something that we'll see come. We usually see it. It's just a little bit of a lag. Again, hello, Koster, Earth to Koster. I guess this is Koster right here. You're not lagging. Your cases right now are on the rise. 8 to 52, that's a big rise. It gets worse in this article. And then we come down here to a Marshall Davis, owner and pharmacist at Davis Drugs, said the increase hasn't affected the number of people coming in for COVID-related issues. The pharmacy is expecting it to pick up during the winter when people spend more time inside. Hello? It's going to pick up for you now. The cases are rising. And I love how they include a nice, friendly, maskless picture of him. Or wait, I shouldn't say friendly. He just looks like... I'm not trying to make fun of him, but does he look happy in this picture? He looks very miserable. I'm sorry. No offense to him, but he looks god-awful miserable in this picture. Like, oh, here we go, COVID again. Well, maybe if everyone would take it seriously, maybe if you put one of these on, mask, here's an N95, maybe you could help cut down the number of infections with this wave. Already, this happened a couple days ago. We forgot to report on it. Steamship Authority cancels some island ferries Thursday and Friday after COVID cases. This is up in Massachusetts, like the Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard. They were impacted by not rough seas or any stormy weather, but COVID-19 cases. And because of that, so many people are out sick, they can't operate the ferry. So that is an ongoing issue. Alrighty, India for today records another 38 cases of COVID. Their active case load is at 1,487. They added 38 cases today, and their deaths are at 531,920. Alrighty, last night I posted a question to Twitter, which is, with rising COVID cases across the U.S. and around the world, are you going to start doing anything differently? And we did get some responses. We're just only going to do a couple of them. Jen here said, yes, I'll be masking indoors all the time and outdoors when it's crowded. I let my guard down, but it's never too late to change. And that's true. It is never too late to change. And what's this one here? Ellie, I've canceled my upcoming doctor's appointments, and I'm not planning any new ones in the near future. Yep, I hear you on that. Just because they've decided to opt into urgency to normal and not require masks for office visits doesn't mean the pandemic has magically disappeared. Magically thinking isn't medicine. Yep, that's correct. And here's another one. Let's just randomly go. Here Karen says, never stop masking. That's a good thing. And here's Pam. I have worn my N95 and done my own grocery shopping this summer, but I will give that up and go back to pickups. Yep, it's not a bad idea to start doing that. Alright, continuing on here, let's take a look at air quality for today. And you can see air quality across the country. It's not too bad. A little bit of yellow ongoing in the East Coast, but again, it is not terrible. The worst place for air quality in the country right now would be in Oregon and Northern California, where we do have this area of very unhealthy air quality. If you want to learn more about that, I do have a channel where I talk about climate-related stuff and weather-related issues. It is at Climate Data Report. Just down below in the description, you will see the link to that. Walgreens this week, 44.7% positivity. No need to continue showing that. We'll get a new update on that on Monday. But I do need to show this. There's 4 regions of wastewater in the United States. And the one in the Midwest is now rapidly rising. Take a look at this. Midwest, it literally went straight up on the new update. That, my friends, is not good to see. We just showed Chicago, and based on this, Chicago cases are going to rapidly rise, as is the west of the Midwest, because wastewater is rising. First you get the wastewater to rise, then the cases rise, then the hospitalizations rise, then the ICUs rise. Then, unfortunately, yes, the last lagging indicator, deaths rise, and as the deaths are rising, that's when the media chimes in, sounds the alarm, says, maybe it's time somebody does something. You know how it always is. A dollar short, a dollar too late. Moving on now to the CDC, and we know, I'm going to move myself to the left, we know that the number of wastewater sites that are red and orange, they're continuing to rise. You can see it on the map here. There's a lot more orange and red sites. We'll take a look at these sites tomorrow when we do the Sunday wastewater update. Now let's take a look at hospital admission data. And yeah, you can see across much of the country, hospital admissions are starting to rise. There's very few places where it's dropping. I only see 4 states here where it's dropping. Then there's another 4 which we don't know what's happening. That includes Puerto Rico because they haven't posted any data. But these orange ones too, bright orange, that's where there's moderate to substantial increases in hospitalizations. That is not something that we like to see. Continuing on now, we don't have anything in today in pandemic history. Taking a look at the latest variants, we know EG.5 is in the lead at 17.3%. FL 1.5.1 is at 8.6%. And that is a variant I am very concerned about because it's the leading variant in New Jersey. Let's take a look at New Jersey. There's now 305 people in the hospital in New Jersey, but there's also 31 people in the ICU. If we go back to July 20th, there was only 13 people in the ICU, and back on July 20th, there was only 183 people in the hospital. That, my friends, is a big increase, and that is an increase that is relatively concerning. let's cross the river and come into Pennsylvania and take a look at Philadelphia. Philadelphia reported 781 EMS incidents yesterday. That is lower than the 800 level. That's where I really start getting concerned, at 800. So it's good to see it lower than that 800 level. But let's do a live look and see what's going on now. It's been a relatively quiet day in the boroughs, but looks like it's starting to pick up a little bit more than what I saw earlier. That was Montgomery County. Here's Chester County, which is another suburban county of Philadelphia. And let's take a look at this. We want to take a look at New York State now. And unfortunately, moving myself back to the right, New York State's not doing well. Most recent update, which was yesterday, 1,126 cases, 13.3% positivity, which is higher than the 7-day average of 12.4%. And hospitalizations, do I need to show you much here? You know the deal. They're rising, and I think they're going to continue rising. I think possibly by the end of this upcoming week, we could see them at to 1,000. And probably by Labor Day, they'll probably go over 1,500 people in the hospital in New York State. Currently, it's 841 with 80 people in the ICU. Let's zoom this in for a second. There's something else I want to show you here. And as I zoom this in, you can see here the number of people in the ICU, that has actually been increasing, which is not good to see. Taking a look at New York City. Look at New York City hospitalizations and the number of people in the ICU. That's been increasing there as well. The hospitalizations are really starting to add up, which we don't like to see. Long Island, take a look at this. Long Island, the hospitalizations. Yeah, they're starting to go up faster and faster. We don't like to see that at all. It's not fear-mongering. This is actual data, which suggests, yes, the hospitalizations in New York City right now are on the rise. They're also on the rise down in Texas, where as of this week, there were 860 people in the hospital, which was a 112 increase from the previous week, where it was 748. And they had 11,826 cases this week as well. Taking a look at Worldometers. South Korea cases are down 64%. Deaths are down 59%. United States, it's saying down 43%. I'm sorry, that is completely wrong. And honestly, I'll be honest about Worldometers. We don't know how many other countries could be completely wrong on this. So when I read these numbers, please don't take them literally. I mean, if you're seeing a big rise in a country, yes, it's concerning. If you're seeing a big drop, I don't know how true it actually is. Even with the rises, Worldometers is not as accurate, at least as it once was. In the beginning of the pandemic, they were pretty top-notch. Not anymore. I don't like them as much as I used to. Italy, cases down 16%, so it says. Deaths up 20%. Russia, cases down 2%. Deaths up 8%. Australia, look at this. This is not good. If this is true, this is really bad. Here's the good part. Cases down 74%. Don't know how true that is. Deaths up 181%. 104 versus 37. That's not something we like to see. Belgium, cases up 68%. Ireland, cases up 29%. Chile, cases up 24%. Mako, cases are up 19%. Hong Kong, cases down 17%. Afghanistan, cases up 68%. Bolivia, cases are down 44%. Bulgaria, cases are up 16%. Vietnam, cases up 21%. Norway, cases up 36%. And finally, today we'll end on Iran, where cases are up 5%. Alrighty, folks, that does it for the Saturday edition of the Pandemic Update. Tomorrow we will have the Sunday Wastewater Update video, and at some point, I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow. Definitely won't be on Monday because we have Walgreens on Monday. We will do the monthly series where we talk about staffing shortages. And as you know, we just reported on one today with that incident with the ferry up there in Massachusetts. Alrighty, I will see you all again tomorrow for the wastewater update. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to my channel down below. If you know anyone that needs a wake-up call, who may think, oh, the pandemic's over, COVID's not a thing anymore, send them my way. I will prove to them that that is not the case. Alrighty, everyone. Thanks for watching. I will see you all again next time. Until I see you again next time, stay safe, everyone. Have a great evening.